Hello, Aries people out there. I'm Poetic Heretic, and this is your February 2020 tarot forecast. I'll be giving you a Celtic Cross reading for the coming month, live here on YouTube, and see what we can find out for your month ahead. All right, so as usual, while I shuffle the cards, I'm going to minimize my screen so I'm not distracted by anything, minimize the stream window, and then I'll bring it back up when I go to do the reading itself in case anyone happens to come in and wants to chat. All right, so we would like a Celtic Cross forecast for the sign of Aries, for all Aries people out there, for the month of February 2020. Let's see what we get. Wow, well, that sure is unusual. We've got the Magician popping out already. So if that means anything to you, there it is. What will be the energy for Aries in the month of February 2020? So in case you don't know, I just decided to start doing these tarot readings again after not having done them for a number of months. And this is my first one, so either this will go well or it will be a total disaster. To see, but I think it'll go well. I've been reading tarot for a few years now, by the way. I've studied it a lot and done many readings at this point, so don't worry about that. My only concern is that it's live, but I think we'll be just fine. All right, here we go. Bring the stream window back up here. Okay, let the games begin. The Magician reversed. He popped out of the deck earlier as if to emphasize his presence, and then here he is again. So how significant is that? The Five of Wands reversed. The Four of Wands reversed. The Three of Pentacles reversed. The Hanged Man. The Four of Pentacles reversed. So already doubling down on those fours, fourth house of home and family and your living situation. So expect that to be a factor this month. Justice reversed. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. The Lovers. And a final outcome card of the Nine of Cups reversed. All right, so let us take a look here. So let's just dive right into it. Your current outside influences are represented this month by the Magician reverse. So this is essentially how you are beginning the month of February 2020. Magician reversed, in my experience, can often point to significant tests and challenges. There may be events that sort of crop up that really require you to utilize your skills and abilities effectively. And in other situations, this can manifest as a person who could be a bit of a trickster, or someone trying to maybe deceive you in some way. So I'd say be a little bit careful surrounding that. Now I'm looking to the other cards to see if we have other potential indicators of that, which we may. So yeah, just bottom line, pretty much any situation with the Magician reversed is going to advise you to be a little more like the Magician upright, and make sure that you use your mental skills and intellect and stuff like that. Figure things out. This Magician Mercury is all about the mind, the intellect, and the ability to figure things out, the sort of rational principle. So that's what is highly recommended for you at the beginning of the month. There may also be, with a card like this reversed, some kind of new beginning that is trying to happen, that is trying to move into form, but it's a bit challenging. So that's what we have there. Well, there's some strange sounds outside right now. I don't know what's happening out there. For your challenge card, you got the Five of Wands. It did come up reverse, but it's the challenge card, so we'll kind of consider it both ways. So again, this idea of potential conflict with other people, Five of Wands reversed, a challenge surrounding conflict, surrounding competition, surrounding how can we work together and how can we get along with one another, when there may be there may be 2, 3, 4, 5 or more different people who all want something different, sort of like ego conflicts going on, a state of disintegration. And so your challenge is to sort of bring all of that into integration, I would say. And then I was going to mention also with that Magician card, it's actually Mercury in your sign, Aries. That's the astrological correspondence to the Magician card. And so it might even be saying, especially if you're an Aries that also has a lot of Mercury energy in your chart, like a strong Mercury in your chart, basically, the Magician reverse may be talking about you personally and saying that you may start the month of February not quite feeling on your game. And so that, of course, will then be a challenge for you to deal with at that time. For the underlying energy, everything forming a foundation for the situation and the entire month, you have the Four of Wands reversed. So many will say, and I think it's certainly true, at least some of the time, that this card is so positive that even in its reversal, it is still often going to manifest as positive, though it may be a little bit decreased. If that is the case for you, then we're talking about harmony around the home, harmony around the family, harmony in your living situation, maybe a bit of time to relax, to do what you want, time where you can stop and rest for a bit. And again, maybe even just a celebration, some kind of culmination happening this month. But again, it's reversed. And with the cards that we just went over, it's like there's something interfering with that. It's not quite perfect. It's not quite the delightful situation that it would be if the card was upright. But still, this is a very positive card. And so, yes, I agree. Even in its reversal, it can often be also a fairly good thing. Now, if it manifests negatively for you, and this may happen for some of you, this is like the temptation of procrastination, dullness, slowness, instability around the home and family, conflicts between people in your personal life and your private life. So do be aware of that as well. This is a general reading, so my rule of thumb with general readings is there's going to be a lot of different potential manifestations usually. All right, so for the past and issues you may have had to deal with, we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. And so this is kind of like the recent past that's then kind of like coloring what you experienced this month of February, like sort of bleeding into this month, if you will. Three of Pentacles reversed, we again have this idea of a difficulty with cooperation, collaboration, communication, challenges there. Like, because normally when it's upright, it's like, oh, we're working together to build something, to create something. The reversal is like, we're not quite working together so well. We're not quite able to get along so well and work together. So that is a very strong theme for you this month, as we also saw with your challenge card being the Five of Wands. And so again, the cards are saying to you basically like, look, one of your biggest challenges this month is going to be figuring out ways to work with other people who maybe don't want to be so cooperative, So there it is. For what you hope to achieve, what you're reaching for, your highest hope, your highest goal, you've got the Hanged Man. So, very interesting card. This can go a couple different ways. First of all, in contrast to the Magician card, which you got as your current outside influences, but it was reversed. So it's like the Magician wants to actively create, actively do, actively use his willpower to like manipulate things and create things. The Hanged Man wants to do the exact opposite. He wants to just let go. All of his willpower is put towards letting go, surrendering, releasing, and letting that be the way that he essentially gets what he wants. And so let me just scan some of these other cards here. It's almost like this month there's a satisfaction that many of you are reaching for that is represented by this card. Like a desire to be able to go with the flow of these somewhat tumultuous circumstances. And that's what this card is representing. So this desire to let go and surrender. It can also, of course, indicate, well, with its Piscean, Neptunian vibe, dreams and the imagination and great creativity. It can indicate a desire to have patience with things, like to find patience within yourself. Now, Aries energy is not very patient to begin with, and so that may be a challenge, but there seems to be this desire for transcendence this month. Maybe with the Magician reverse, we could also say that, and with also astrologically Mercury going retrograde this month in the sign of Pisces, this desire to let go for a while, to instead of use our mental faculties and our intellectual focus, to let go and use like our intuition more, basically. And I would say in a larger sense, you could say that almost about every sign for the month of February, with Mercury going retrograde in Pisces. For the near future, so we're looking about the first week or two of the month, you got the Four of Pentacles reversed. And so this is indicating, again, some potential conflict around the domestic front, fourth house of home and family, in your private and personal life. But it can also be, well, either ends of the following spectrum. A desire to hold on to money and the way that things are too much, in which case the advice would be, like the Hanged Man teaches, to let go. Or in a positive sense, it might be a sign that many of you are letting go in the first week or two of February. You are finding the wherewithal to surrender this month, and that is precisely how you win in this situation and get what you want. So I would say take what resonates with you there. For your attitude or position on the situation, about halfway through the month, you got Justice reversed. So again, like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Justice reverse is like, oh, this sense of, if this is how you're feeling, it's like, oh, it's unfair, it's unjust. Someone is winning where I am losing. And so we have, of course, then the zero-sum game, which is the pretty much the root of all problems in all relationships. And so I would say, just as an aside here, regardless, try to end the zero-sum game, especially if you see it happening in your life a lot this month. Try to look for win-win situations. In other words, the zero-sum game is basically I win, you lose, or you win, I lose. Instead, brainstorm creative solutions that make it so both parties can win, or if there's more than two parties, so that all parties can win. So it's a win for everyone. Other than that, Justice Reverse can talk about not seeing things clearly, not seeing things objectively, a need for objectivity and rational thinking. And I have a sneaking suspicion that this is connected to that Mercury retrograde in Pisces and that Magician card reversed. So if we were to sort of extend that further, I'd say, well, maybe it's objectivity that we need, but maybe it's also more intuitive senses that we need. Because here's the thing, when Mercury's in Pisces, and I study the astrology as well, so I guess I might as well throw this in here. When Mercury's in Pisces, you're just not going to be able to think logically very well. That's just all there is to it. I mean, you can, perhaps, but it's going to require great effort. Mercury in Pisces is far better for creative thinking and imagination and intuition and stuff like that, or maybe a sort of blend of the intellect with intuition. So like you can try to think clearly all you want when Mercury's in Pisces, but good luck is all I can say, I guess. All right, so that is what we have there. One more thing with that, actually, I just thought of, with the Justice card being ruled by Libra and the planet Venus, and also with that Hanged Man card there for what you hope to achieve, there could even be this desire / need for the receptivity of Venus, Venus being, of course, a very feminine energy, and that act of surrender, as we see with the Hanged Man, is basically a very feminine energy. And we're not talking about male and female here, boys and girls. We're talking about different energy types. Where in contrast to the Magician card, as you got as your first card, though reversed, which is a very masculine energy when it's in its upright normal state. Okay, so for the outside force coming in, you have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. This is something coming at you. So this may not be you personally at all, because it's something outside of you, but it's something that's going to affect you. This would be like someone who is getting distracted from their work, who is being interrupted from working regularly. Maybe there are going to be some coworkers that you have or colleagues or whatever that are getting distracted from their work, and it's affecting you in various ways. This could also, of course, though, manifest as a situation that does try to distract you, Aries, from your work. And so do be aware of that possibility, I would say. Could also just be like plain lazy people, especially with that Four of Wands there as well. If we were to sort of mix those two meanings together, like there may be lazy people around you, and well, perhaps that's where part of the conflict is coming from. You gotta whip them into shape, or fire them, or whatever it takes, I guess. For your hopes or fears, you have the Lovers. Beautiful card. So the Lovers card so often is about the idea of integration, first of all. And so it's interesting when we saw earlier the Five of Wands and other cards that were indicating potential conflict between people. That is something that the Lovers is saying, like in your hopes or fears, you're hoping to be able to resolve conflict. The Lovers also talks about this idea of making the right decision when it is not easy, making the right moral decision, and making the right decision for long-term gain as opposed to short-term gratification. And this showing up in your hopes or fears is like saying that you're hoping this month that you have the wherewithal and the ability to do that you can delay that instant gratification when you know that it would be better to stay on track, stay focused, do the right thing, basically, and thus, therefore, facilitate a better outcome in the long run. And so, basically, what this means is you're afraid of giving into temptation this month. So, don't do that. All right. So, for your final outcome card, how you're concluding the month of February 2020, you got the Nine of Cups reversed. So, unfortunately, this is another card that, like, when it's upright, it's far more positive than when it's reversed. Some of those positive meanings may still leak through for some of you, where there's a sense of satisfaction and like near completion and emotional contentment. But the reversal does, I hate to tell you, so often indicate sadness and disappointment. Now, it's not a huge catastrophe. I want to point that out right now, though, because we're not seeing the Tower. We're not seeing other cards that would indicate like a huge issue or whatever. It's just the Nine of Cups reversed. And in fact, I do this literally all the time with my own like personal readings. I'm going to draw one more card for you to get a better idea of what we might face or what you might face this month, what this Nine of Cups reversed means. And it is the King of Cups reversed. So watch out for adult male water signs in particular, because this sort of dissatisfaction or disappointment may have to do with a particular person, King of Cups type person. So water signs, those are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Adult male water signs, conflicts with them could be problematic. Now, if maybe you don't know what, someone's sign is or whatever, that's fine. And it can also manifest in other signs as well. This Cups energy, it's like, this is where you have someone who is, at least normally when the card is upright, very kind, diplomatic, caring. This could be like a therapist or a counselor or someone who gives advice in any way, shape, or form. For some reason, there's someone this month that looks like they're showing up for you that may just be trying to like interfere in that way. And so, maybe they're trying to give you bad advice or something. Well, don't listen to that advice, But other than that, it's like overall this month, it seems like there's a lot of positive energy that's trying to come through, but it's just temporarily stuck. And with the Magician card showing up as the very first card and reversed, and it being ruled by Mercury, it's literally corresponded to Mercury in Aries, but the Magician is basically Mercury. And then Mercury going retrograde in Pisces this month, and retrogrades are all about delays. I think the overall takeaway for you this month, and also with that Hanged Man card showing up, may be that this month for you, Aries, is about cultivating patience, which I know is not easy for Aries people. Like, I totally get it. You want what you want and you want it now. You're a fire sign. But nevertheless, that's what we have here. Mercury is going retrograde for everyone, and there are just things that are going to be delayed for now that we won't get to until like March or April, perhaps. So I know that may not be the news that you want to hear, but I'd much rather call it like I see it for you so you know what to expect than tell you what I think you want to hear and give you a false sense of hope or optimism, and then you're caught off guard and much worse off for it. We don't want that. So anyway, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed, all Aries people out there, Aries sun, rising, and moon. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and subscribe if you want. I'm going to try to do these monthly tarot readings again from now on via live stream. So be sure to look for that. And I also, of course, regularly make content involving tarot and astrology on my channel. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great night and a great month of February 2020.